You're all committed to something for yourself in life. That's for sure. It takes an extra motivation to wake up in this winter, especially it's quite cold in Bangalore. And I don't know, Mumbai may be warmer.
No, but we are experiencing a very beautiful, wonderful winter. I'm enjoying
Oh,
it.
okay, okay. So I appreciate and thank you all for being here. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do anything. So when I say integrate yourself, the program name, it also gives us we need to understand what is disintegrating us and what are we trying to integrate. So by nature, we are all divided into different bits and pieces in our mind. And that divides us in our thoughts, in our actions, in our results, everything. So what is dividing us is our judgments, is our belief systems, and our values. We collect a lot of them from the time of our birth. So each time there is a conflict when you are not aligned to your values, your belief systems, and when things are just moving smoothly, is that when you're aligned to your belief systems and your values. Do you all agree with this?
Yeah.
So the conflicts don't actually happen outside.
Yeah.
The arguments actually don't
Yes.
happen outside. Everything happens inside. So the whole concept of this program that I have designed is to understand how do we integrate ourselves inside so that don't um, we are in control of our life basically. Our health, our emotions are our energy. Everybody has this experience, like when you are happy you feel very energetic, when you're sad you feel little low in your moods, so you don't feel like doing things, so your energy just drops down. Good morning, Santosh.
Good
Good to
morning,
see you
madam.
in the morning. We just started off. So how do we manage this? Every value system, every conflict, every belief ends up in a kind of gives you an emotion, and your emotion is what runs your life. Emotion is your energy. So taking emotions as a basic tool, I have designed this traditional seven chakra balancing. So today in integrate yourself, I will just give a glimpse of how emotions manage our life and how you can feel when everything is aligned. So at the end of the introduction, this session, for 20 minutes, we will do a meditation which is guided by me. So you will feel that integrated inside, aligned inside, and feel calm, all that experience of inner peace, all that can happen. It all depends on your individual state of mind at the end of the day. Yeah. So to introduce myself, I am Pavani. I am an emotional spiritual wellness coach and also a meditation trainer. So I have included a lot of emotions into the spirituality. For me, when you can manage your emotions, when you can manage your thoughts, you are spiritual. Spirituality is nothing very abstract or mystic, but it is very, very simple that you become very practical in life. Don't get swayed away by your emotions. So spirituality is simplified. It's very, very simple. It looks very deep and very difficult when people talk about spirituality. They talk like it is something unsurmountable and it's very difficult. You need one whole life, two lives, three lives to even understand what is life and all. But it is not that. It is not so difficult. Let us not keep spirituality at a very high level and not able to reach it, right? So we are bringing down spirituality to our level so that we capture it, right? So let me start sharing my screen so that it becomes easier for you people to follow. Yeah. The whole concept of Lifecraft Success Hub, which I started some 8 years ago, is to know yourself and be yourself. That gives a lot of inner power, and you can be, when you're yourself, you can achieve whatever you want. One minute, I have a challenge. I'm not able to go to the next slide. Integrate yourself helps you resolve your life puzzles. Okay. This is what I was talking about. Your abstract divisions within you causes the conflicts. So what are all those things? My choices. We identify ourselves with our likes and dislikes. So I like banana. I don't like papaya. So the moment somebody offers me, oh no, it's not me. A lot of times we use this statement, it's not me. So it is, so we identify with lot of issues around us. It could be the food, it could be the dressing style, or somebody asks you to wear a certain kind of dress, immediately we say, no, I cannot, it's not me. So the moment you're saying that, so you identify yourself with one thing and you don't want to be identified with something else. And this is all making us a little more rigid in our thinking, our approach, and it also gives us a lot of restrictions. Why we do this is we are not trained to make decisions on the spot. Situation based decisions are so difficult for us. While we do it at workplace, we are not trained to do it with people. Most of the successful professionals have difficulties with relationships, and they're really successful with profession. Are you all with me? Yeah. So why does this happen? It's because we are trained to decide based on some concepts. It could be culture, it could be religion, it could be family values. So you make decisions about people and about situations based on what your grandparents told you, what your parents told you, or what has been followed through in the system. In our culture, we do it like this. In our family, we have to follow this. So you don't have anything beyond that. If you're doing, then you are branded as a rebel or somebody. It is not looked at as out of box. When it comes to your career, when you take decisions beyond the limits, you're said that you're an out of box thinker and you're appreciated for that. But when it comes to family, if you do anything like that, when you're creative, when you want to break some rules, then you're labeled as a rebel. We don't want to do that. So we try to stick to what are the norms of the family, is the society, and the concept of society is not outside, but it is always inside our head, and we don't know who that society is. It will be one or two people in our family who constitute our society, and we make it look really large, so we don't know how to handle it. So these are all the complications of mind, and it is all happening without our interference or awareness. It is all automated over the years from your childhood, from our childhood, I am included, sorry. So from our childhood, we have been told so many things. We are supposed, expected to be doing so many things. So our thinking and our behaviors are all restricted. To go beyond this, we need to align ourselves inside understand really what are my values, really what do I stand for. And even when I'm standing for something, if I need to deviate, how much can I deviate and how much I can come back? Do I really need to come back, or do I really need to escape from this grip? Right? This is what is all about being spiritual and nothing more than that.
Avni, really sorry to interrupt, but are you sharing something? Because I can just see the first screen. I don't know if it's only with me or the others that are
Are you
seeing.
seeing my choices, my values?
No.
No, I'm just seeing the
No.
first one. Welcome to live, the first slide or the first, yeah, image.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Thanks for bringing that up. I thought,
Yeah, I think you have to reshare the deck. Yeah, now we
is
can
okay.
see. Yeah.
Can you see the next one, the chakra system?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody? Yes.
Mm.
So, chakra system, while all these emotions are made during all this system, what I explained just now, is what we are carrying from the time of birth. I want to introduce you to this chakra system, then we connect both. Okay. So what is chakra system is nothing but it is all about our energy body. Like we have the physical body with all the organs, we have an energy body which is running parallel or which is managing our autonomous systems. How does your heart beat? How does your digestion happen? How do you sleep and wake up? How does your digestive system work? How are all the organs happening? You're not putting on any switches or you're not putting off any switches, right? It is not happening with your thought. It is not happening with your awareness. Whether you're sleeping or awake, a lot of things are happening within your body. What is making it happen? It is the cosmic energy. And how is the cosmic energy converted or transformed into the energy that your organs are all functioning at different levels is because of the chakras. The 7 chakras, there are about 114 chakras to be listed, but the 7 chakras are most important ones and they are aligned along our spine. Starting the base of our body, we have the Muladhara chakra, and little above is the Swadhisthana chakra, and at the navel is the Manipura chakra, and at your heart is your Anahata chakra. It's in center of the chest, not exactly the heart. And in your throat is the Vishuddhi chakra, and between the eyebrows is the third eye chakra or the Ajna chakra, and little above our body, above the center of the head, crown, is the Sahasrara chakra. Okay, the energy, how it works is the energy is enters into our body through the Sahasrara chakra and passes through all the chakras and goes down and grounds. When any of the chakras are imbalanced or it is underactive or overactive, then we find it difficult to move ahead in life. It can also show up as different ailments in the body. Like if your Manipura chakra is not in good shape, then you will have digestion problems or your diabetes and all that comes here. Your heart ailments comes because of imbalances in your heart chakra. Thyroid problems come because of the imbalance in your throat chakra. All of these things. So each chakra manages a lot of our activities, our hormones. All these 7 chakras have associated glands. So they manage all the endocrinal glands. And the master chakra is your Agnya chakra, right? Any questions here? No? No. So what blocks or what makes it underactive or overactive is the emotion. How the chakra functions, how our energy system functions. Somebody who is talking, can you just go on mute, please? Yeah. So what makes something underactive or overactive is only your emotions. So I'll give you a simple example. Like a student in a school is bullied by friends. So there are two ways to handle that. One, you fight back or you run away, right? But when you get a positive result to that, so either running away or fighting back becomes your habit. Over a period of time, you keep doing the same methodology. So if you are running away, then your chakras become underactive because you're closing yourself. You're using yourself less. Then the chakras become underactive. If you're fighting back, you're all the time alert and awake and ready to fight, then your chakra becomes overactive. So either it is underactive or overactive, you will still have imbalances. Okay, so we'll move on. Any questions here?
No.
Please, you can stop me anytime. So what happens when chakras are all aligned? Why are we trying to align the chakras or align the emotions? When everything is aligned, you have the power in your hand. You are peaceful, you're powerful, and you are prosperous. Prosperity is not about money, it is about everything around you, being connected to the abundance. Right? So it could be health, it could be money, it could be career, it could be relationships. You are prosperous in all areas of your life. Here I would just um, want to give an example of a person who started off with chakra balancing, and in 3 months how she managed to be where she wanted to be. I'm talking about an alumni of IIM. She is a doctor by profession. She's into management of hospitals. Okay, she was highly qualified, very intelligent, and at 33, she was still out of job with so much of qualifications, very efficient. She was only doing some freelancing, and during COVID, she lost that job also. So that is when she got connected to me, and she did one of the three-month program. And at the end, last session when we were attending, she was already in superintendent of Medantu hospitals, shifted and joined in the job. She practiced each and everything that we discussed in the session, and she used to be really regular on that. So I have my own experiences. I have gotten over my diabetes in 3 months by practicing alignment of chakras. That is when I realized that the potential of the balancing is so huge that people can benefit in different ways. So I created this program called 7 Chakras Balancing Meditations for manifestation. You manifest whatever you want to have in your life. It's not you are going to be healthy alone, your relationships are going to be good, but overall, anything you want to manifest, you can manifest when you are aligned. So this is what I was talking about, the fight and flight response. When you're in a flight, you suppress your energy, you go down, and when you are fighting, you surge your energy and you go up. And over a period of time, this causes a lot of imbalances in the system. This is how the chakras or the energies can be photographed by a camera called Kerlin photography. So here you see when the chakras are not aligned, it could be like this. When chakras are aligned, it could be like this. However, can you see are you all seeing the screen? You can see the chakras? Yeah. Each chakra has a different color. Here we have the picture with colors. So Muladhara is red, Swadhisthana is orange, Manipura is yellow, heart chakra or Anahata is green, throat chakra or Vishuddhi is blue, Agnya chakra is indigo, Sahasrara is violet. When we say that chakras are balanced or imbalanced, it doesn't mean that they're all aligned in the center all the time. It is the ability for us to shift from one phase to another phase. Like most of you are professionals or you're in multiple activities, right? When you are, say, in your office, you are mostly using your Agnya chakra or the thinking area. When you come home, you have to spend time with your family, your heart chakra has to work. But most of us find it difficult to make these shifts because we don't know how to shift from one activity to another, not physically, but inside. You're still thinking about the stress, about the either you're thinking about what did not go well in the office today or what you need to plan for tomorrow. You're sitting with your family watching the movie yet, or you're having dinner but you're thinking something else. Your brain, your mind is somewhere else. You're not here right now, right? Most of us, when I'm talking about these chakras, you are somewhere else. You are thinking about something else. Is that happening? Yeah. To come back, there is an effort. So how much is that effort is decided by how imbalanced are the chakras. If you are able to shift quickly, then you are more aligned. If you take a lot of time, sometimes when your mood goes out of control, some of us take 1 hour, 1 day, some take 1 week, sometimes it goes to 1 month, 3 months, depending upon what word the other person used. It's not even words, it is one word that we get stuck with. Am I right? Does it happen with everybody or it happens only to me?
Universal truth, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very universal everywhere, whichever country you belong to, whichever culture you belong to, our emotions are all the same. There's nothing more or less there. So let us go a little more deeper and understand the chakra system a little more, how each one helps us. So this is how the chakra, in this picture, you all see the chakra system slide? Okay. So in this picture here, we see how the chakras are aligned. The top and the bottom are either they are looking down and looking up. Rest all are looking front and back. We actually take in energy from the back and we release it into the front. The chakras are aligned along the spine. You don't see them. It is all abstract energy you can't see, but you can feel it, right? So that is why when somebody is not feeling good, you go pat the back and touch the center of the back. That's where the heart chakra is. You make them feel good, right? Then they feel really calm. If somebody is in difficulty. So now let us see the 7 chakras. Muladhara chakra is at the base of the spine, and this manages all the unconscious mind. All the things that is from your parents, your grandparents, from the society, all that memory is here. And this one also helps you manage your moods, emotional health, and physical health. Okay. And this is also important for us to manifest anything or to hold anything. Each of us, some people can hold up to 1 crore rupees, some people can hold up to 100 crores. If a person who can hold only some 10 lakhs, if you give them 1 crore, what happens? They'll blow it off. Next day, they are again back to what they are. You see all these people on the roads, right? Beggars. You give them even 1 crore, tomorrow they'll come back and beg. They don't know what to do with that money. They don't know how to use it. They don't know how to hold it. Similarly, we also have a limitation to hold what we want or what we have. And that is managed by the health of your Muladhara chakra, the base chakra. I want to be happy is a concept, but when happiness comes, can I hold it? Can I really be happy? When there is peace of mind, can I really hold it? The moment somebody is happy, they have this feeling that don't laugh too much, you will cry tomorrow. So you don't even enjoy that minute when you are really happy. Because you're scared about something that is you're going to lose. That fear of losing comes in, and all that is stored here. You don't know why you do that. It's all unconscious programming is in your Muladhara chakra. Coming to Swadhisthana chakra, this is the center which identifies us with lot of things. This is the place where we, as I in the beginning I told you, we identify with one papaya or one apple or one coffee or one blue color or red color or something that your academics, your career, your position, it could be anything. And that separates us from others. We want to find our identity. There is a constant struggle for us to feel that I am somebody. I am a doctor. I am a professor. I am X, I am Y, right? So all that I is coming here. Swadhisthana is, Adhisthana is your seat. Swa is my seat. How I position myself in this world is all managed by this chakra, and this chakra is the manages your ability to flow with your life. Coming to the next chakra, Manipura chakra at the navel. Navel is the place that we as a fetus in our mother's womb got connected and got all the food, energy, everything through the navel. So there are a lot of nerves and a lot of all the systems start here for us. So navel chakra is very important for physical, emotional health, and it also manages your nervous system, digestive system, and the ability to function, take action. This is the place where I feel in control of life or not in control of life. So when Manipura chakra is imbalanced, then you are like walking on the treadmill. You walk 10 miles, but you're still there. You can't move forward. You're doing a lot of hard work, but you don't see results. Coming to Anahata chakra, the heart chakra is all about connections and relationships. How well you are connected to yourself, how much you respect yourself, how much you love yourself is what you can give others. So it is all your emotional account, how much you have in your bank, that is what you can give somebody. If you are drained, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else, right? Then coming to Vishuddhi chakra, how well all the other chakras are aligned is what Vishuddhi chakra health tells us. The ability to express yourself genuinely. If you if you are truthful to yourself, your Vishuddhi chakra is really good. All the public speakers, all the people who preach, teach, their Vishuddhi chakra has to be in good health. Then coming to Agnya chakra. Agnya chakra is a place where we get the clarity of what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. Right, wrong, good, bad is not based on what society has decided, not what some rules have decided, but it is about what is good or right for you at that point of time to take a decision, to make a choice is what happens in your Agnya chakra. Agnya Chakra gives you the clarity. And then the Sahasrara Chakra is the charging station. This is where you get all your energy from. And in the upward journey of the energy, this is where you get all the connections to your manifestation. If you want peace of mind, how you get peace of mind, you will get all the answers here and you see the results in your Mooladhara Chakra. So this is the whole system. Any questions, any doubts, anything which I was not clear about, please ask me. All good, shall we move on? Now it's time for you to understand how each of your chakras is balanced or imbalanced. Ready? Would like to go for it? So here is a table where most of you I think are ready with paper and pen, so we can just start off. Rate yourself from 0 to -5 or 0 to +5, depending on where you feel you stand today. At this moment, it can be different yesterday, it can be different tomorrow, right? So root or Mooladhara Chakra deals with survival issues and material possessions. A blocked or underactive chakra is because of fear. So the statements could be, I am an anxious person. Is it clear for you people to read?
Yes.
Okay. So I am an anxious person. I feel financially unstable. It need not be everything, but maybe something closer to that. You can rate yourself from -1 to -5 if this is true. If you feel I am safe and secure in life and I feel very stable and comfortable in life, then it will be 0. If it is overactive, then I always need more of everything. There is a lack, you feel lack of things. I'm very cautious with money, then it will be +1 to +5. It is not about how much money you have, it is about how you feel about it. People with 100 crores still may not feel that they have money. They still want more. Right? So just rate yourself. The second one, sacral chakra or the Swadhisthana chakra, deals with pleasure, creativity, and flow of life. Block chakra is because of guilt that we carry. I often feel stuck in life. I am vulnerable and avoid intimacy. This is from -1 to -5. If you're balanced, then it is I am creative, I celebrate life, the beauty and harmony in life. Then it is 0. When the chakra is overactive, I splurge on life's pleasures. I am easy-go-lucky person. Then +1 to +5. Moving on to navel chakra or the Manipura chakra, deals with power. That's your personal power and self-confidence. When the chakra is underactive, we have a tinge of shame about something. We look down on ourselves. There's a fear of being ridiculed, shamed, or insulted. I end up pleasing and impressing people. Then it is from -1 to -5. If you feel I am worthy, I am in charge of my life, then it is at 0. If I am wielding power on others easily, I pamper myself with and keep on buying things, then it is from +1 to +5. Coming to heart chakra or Anahata chakra, deals with love, acceptance, and compassion. This is unconditional love and acceptance. When the chakra is blocked, it is blocked with grief. There is a fear of rejection or neglect, and there is a trust deficit. I cannot trust people easily. When balanced, I am in love, I love and I am loved. I am compassionate and caring. When the chakra is overactive, I take charge of everyone around me. I focus more on others than myself. So if you are in the fear zone, then it is -1 to -5. If you are in love zone, then it is 0. If you are taking care too much of care for others, then it is +1 to +5. Rate yourself the way that you think is right for you. Coming to Vishuddhi chakra or the throat chakra, it deals with the truth, self-expression and integrity. A blocked chakra is because you think you have said a lie. I am secretive and I hold back. I feel judged, so I don't express myself. Then it is -1 to -5. When you are saying, I can express freely and be true to myself, and I'm a good listener and I'm open to ideas, then it is 0. I lose my control, I yell and be harsh with people. I have a strong urge to speak, I take over the discussion, then it is +1 to +5. Coming to your Agnya chakra, the third eye chakra, it deals with insight and awareness. It gives us the harmony and synchronicity with the universe. It can be blocked because of illusion. I'm often confused or stuck in whirlpool of thoughts. Then it is between -1 and -5. When it is balanced, I trust my inner guidance and wisdom with clarity of thoughts. That's at 0. Prone to addictions, obsessions, I wake up with nightmares often. A lot of thoughts is +1 to +5. Lot of confusion is here. The next one, the last one, Sahasrara or the divine chakra, deals with cosmic energy, oneness and connections. The imbalance here is attachment. I feel lonely and disconnected. I experience foggy thinking. Then mark yourself from -1 to -5. If you feel life flows in harmonious ways and I have a sense of purpose to my life, then it is 0. I'm frustrated, I'm not realizing my potential, then it is from +1 to +5.
Pavni, may I ask you a doubt?
Sure.
Yeah, many of the times, is there a possibility of a swing between these emotions? Like at times you feel that you're in the in either of the plus or minus zones, and there is a time when you're possibly in the center, and like a swinging of these emotions.
Yes, it happens, but but most of the time, if I'm scared or if I'm pleasing, then at some point of time you feel that it's enough is enough and you want to do more for yourself.
Hmm.
But you are not coming out of this vicious cycle here.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, I also had a question in the last one.
Mhm.
That if you could roll down the slide, I can't see the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the last one, it's not like, I mean, you could be frustrated as well as you could be lonely. I don't know. It just, and you could be saying, I'm not realizing my potential and be disconnected and lonely, like both.
Which is more? Which comes first? Mark that.
Okay.
Don't analyze too much, just mark which comes first to your mind.
Okay. Could we go
Same.
to the second from the top just for me to see again?
So we mark the dominant ones.
Yeah, the one which you feel the most. Yeah, second one done.
No, actually.
Okay. Need any help?
Well, it wasn't like, I don't know. The creative was the balance part, and I was just trying to understand.
Do you feel stuck or do you feel you are in control of life?
Okay, fine, I got it.
Okay. Done?
Yeah.
Everybody? So you know where your chakra, how your life and chakras are related. So this slide helps us actually understand what blocks or imbalances the chakras, what could be the root causes, how you can feel, what is a body response, what habits can change it, right? So let us see for Muladhara chakra. What imbalances Muladhara chakra is a fear or a self-doubt. Where does it happen? It happens because of the unconscious programs. What is the result of it? How do you feel? Is lack of drive. You can't wake up fresh. How does the body respond? There are pains and aches. And how do you balance it? Just by saying thank you as often as possible. Isn't it simple, manageable?
I have a question. So, what do you mean by the root causes unconscious programs?
Each chakra has a different kind of memory, or it manages or it influences different aspects of our life. So all the unconscious programs are in your Muladhara chakra. So root causes, what is the base for this particular fear or self-doubt? Where is it coming from? It's not coming from your conscious mind. It is coming from some unconscious program. Something, maybe we call it from society or something. So the color of the chakra is red. The function of this chakra is stability. So when it is imbalanced, you feel very imbalanced very unstable in life. And each chakra is associated with one of the 5 natural elements. So Muladhara chakra is associated with earth. It's the root chakra. It roots, it holds you. So all the stability is there. All our roti kapda makan is managed by the Muladhara chakra. Then comes the second chakra, Swadhisthana, the orange color. The function is flow of life. And what can stop it, what can imbalance it is guilt. This is coming from the subconscious programs. Subconscious programs are all our belief systems and values that we have created for ourselves. How you can feel is confused, anxious, or lost. How it can show up is allergies and autoimmune diseases and the hormonal imbalances, etc. So how do we balance it? Do what you love to do and love the things that you need to do and reduce resistance. When you reduce resistance, automatically life is in flow. The element here is water. So when you stop yourself, when you resist something, then there is a friction. Then you don't know what to do. So let things flow, then life is in a good shape. Then the third chakra is Manipura chakra. It is all about what is the imbalance here is worry and social image. 80% or 90% of our life runs around this, maintaining our social image. I am saying this, what is the other person thinking about me right now? If I ask a question, what will people in this room think about me? if I'm making this statement, what is the judgment that people will have about me? Aren't we all doing this all the time in our life? So that is actually causing the imbalance in your Manipura chakra. So this is a conscious mind. We are completely aware that we are doing this, but it becomes a habit over a period of time. How do we feel? We feel loss of power. We feel loss of control in life. How does the body respond? Digestive issues, acidity, or anything, any indigestion, constipation, loose motions, everything is because of that. So the habit is just stand for yourself, understand, know yourself, be yourself. Color is yellow, the chakra. Function is to be in action. The element here is fire. You say, right, my gut feeling, the fire in me, all that happens here. The next chakra is the Anahata chakra or the heart chakra. It deals with the imbalances are because of hurts and grudges. Somebody said something, I'm hurt. Somebody did something to me, I have a grudge against that person, I hold it in my heart. We use this language, right? We all know where what stays. The root causes is the memory reflections of the facts and emotions. Something happens, but we make it mean something else. If somebody loving says you're a stupid, we take it very light. We actually laugh at it. We are okay with it. But some strangers calls you're a stupid, then we hold an emotion and a grudge against that person. The same word, but it makes a huge difference in how we convert it into. So how you can feel that there is an imbalance is you have difficulty in your relationships. How body responses is breathing issues or heart issues. Some ailments with breathing or the heart. How do you balance it out? You love yourself, start sharing and caring unconditionally. It automatically gets balanced. The color energy is green, the function is love, and the element is air. Air is something that you cannot hold. You cannot make it stay in one place. It has to keep flowing and it connects all of us together. If you are in a room, whatever you are breathing in is, and whatever you are exhaling, somebody else breathes. What somebody else exhales is what you breathe. We are all connected, right? We breathe the same air. The next chakra is Vishuddhi chakra, the throat chakra. What can imbalance is manipulations, root causes survival or face saving or managing the social image. So we tell a lot of lies or we believe a lot of lies to just go with the flow. While we are saying that we are going with the flow, but we are actually resisting with it. That is when you feel suffocated, you feel agitated, you get into arguments. This is how, and you can feel the response in your body with pain in the shoulders or stiff neck or some thyroid issues, frequent coughs and colds is all because of this. How you can balance it out is be truthful to what you believe in. And this is in the space, managing the sound part of the space. The next chakra, the Agnya chakra, gives us when imbalance, there is no clarity. You want to be anchored in the best fit. You try to get fit into whatever you think is best, and you are you're in confusion most of the time. Well, how you can feel it is difficulty in decision making. Body responds as headaches and eye problems. Habits that can balance out is listen to your intuition. Understand what is intuition first and then start going by it. Helps the function of this chakra is decision making. It's controlled by the space, the light element. The next is the Sahasrara chakra, the seventh one. It deals with attachments and ego. I, me, mine, establishing my identity. Okay. How you can feel is you can feel not recognized, you can feel insulted, you can feel not important. All this happens when your Sahasrara is in imbalance. How the body responds is you might have memory issues or loss of hair. Habits that integrate or balance out is do things unbothered about results. We need to have goals, but every minute if you're checking whether it's happening or not, whether I'm recognized for it, whether I'm getting the results or not, when you're focusing on the results and not on the action, then your Sahasrara is in imbalance. Color is violet. The function is intentions. How strong is your intention? How pure is your intention of doing something? Not about what you actually do, how you make it happen. So the space and the nothingness. It's a little bit abstract if you're not into meditation and spirituality, otherwise you understand this. Any questions there?
No.
Before actually we start with the meditation, I would like to let you know the program which I do, and it's a 10-session program actually. First session is all about introduction to the energy system and how your body, how you can prepare your body for managing the energy or aligning the energy. And then from second to eighth session, we go deeper into each of the chakras that we just now discussed, the functions and how you can balance. So there are mantra, each chakra has a bija mantra. You will learn how to chant each mantra and how to use the mudra and how to manage or use the elements of the nature to balance, keep the chakras in balance. Then there are colors that how you can manage, using the colors, how you can manage. Then the actual emotional work, a lot of tips and exercises around managing the emotions. And every week there are challenges where you actually go back and practice to balance each chakra or remove the clogs in each chakra. And every chakra has a specific meditation designed around it. And when you practice that, the chakras get automatically balanced. So the last session, the 9th session is, it's not the last, it's a 9th session is about understanding how to manage the infinite experiences. When you get connected to the cosmos or the energy, how you manage it and what are the experiences you get and how to go about it. There are energy spirals, the energy going from bottom top to top down. So how to manage that, and secrets of manifestation. How you can use the chakra balance to manifest all your desires and just take life into your control. And you have the chakra flowering meditation, and 21 days you practice this manifestation, you come up with all the results. Then we culminate in the 10th session, and that is about 3 months program. Okay. So next thing, any questions? There are some people who joined late. They have any questions because they missed a part of it? Yes, no? No? Okay. Somebody's Somebody is joining in now, right? Only for the meditation.
Better late than never.
I know. No, that person is right here only for the meditation. Hi, Diksha. So, are you all ready for the meditation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Close your eyes. You don't have to do anything in the meditation. Just follow the instructions. Drop your mind. Don't think what is right, what is wrong, how is it happening, what is the flow. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of all of that. Keep your spine straight. If you want to lean back, you can lean back. If somebody wants to lie down, you can lie down. Close your eyes and just follow the instructions. You can keep your palms open in any open position on your lap. Take deep breaths. Breathe deeply, hold, and breathe out completely. Feel relaxed. Focus completely on your breathing. Breathe slowly. Watch how your breath is going in, coming out. Slowly guide your breath to fill in the whole of your body. With every breath, your body is getting more and more relaxed. Start filling up. Be conscious of your breath going to your feet, toes, ankle. Fill in oxygen. As you exhale, exhale all the negativity and feel relaxed in your feet. Fill in oxygen into your legs, below the thigh and the thighs, your ankle. Breathe out and relax. Inhale into your hip joints. Fill in oxygen. Breathe out and relax. With every outgoing breath, you're becoming calmer, deeper, and more relaxed. Feel your breath into your lower abdomen, lower back, upper abdomen, middle back, your chest, and the upper back, the shoulders. Fill in oxygen into the whole of your thoracic area. Exhale and relax. Breathe into your hands. Fill in oxygen. Exhale and relax. Filling oxygen into your throat and neck area. Exhale and relax. Filling oxygen into your face, your eyes, nose, oral cavity, into your ears, head, scalp, and the hair. Exhale and relax. Relax from the top of your head to your toes, from your toes to the head. With each inhalation and exhalation, go deeper and deeper into yourself. Feel calmer, feel silent within. Focus on the Muladhara chakra, the root chakra, positioned in the perineal area, where the front and back side of your bodies meet. Muladhara chakra is facing to the ground. Root chakra controls all the grounding aspects like physical and emotional health, money, success, material possessions. Breathe into your root chakra. Feel that all the blocks of root chakra are going away with each inhalation and exhalation. Pay attention to your root chakra and see it is radiating the deep red energy. Color energy makes it powerful, strong, and rejuvenated. If you don't see any color or if you see any other color in this chakra, let it take over. Absorb all the red energy into yourself. Focus on the Swadhisthana chakra or the sacral chakra positioned near the pelvic bone below the navel area, facing front and back. Sacral chakra controls sexuality, sensual pleasure, creativity, and flow of life. Breathe into your Swadhisthana chakra. Make it clean, healthy, and rejuvenated. Visualize it is removing all the blocks from your Swadhisthana chakra as you breathe out. See the Swadhisthana chakra radiating orange color energy. If you don't see any color or if you see any other color, let that take over. Absorb all the orange color energy into yourself. Slowly move your attention to the Manipura chakra or the navel chakra positioned behind your navel, facing front and back. Navel chakra is the seat of self-worth, willpower, and self-image. Breathe into your Manipura chakra behind the navel, making it happy, healthy, and rejuvenated. All your blocks are going out as you exhale. Visualize a yellow color radiating from the Manipura chakra. If you don't see any color or if you see any color, let that take over. Absorb all the yellow color energy into yourself. Shift your focus to your heart chakra or the Anahata chakra, the center of your chest, facing front and back. Anahata chakra controls unconditional love, compassion, and is the temple of unlimited love. Breathe into your heart chakra. See that your breath is removing all the blocks and negativities. With each inhalation and exhalation, your heart chakra is expanding and making you more powerful, happy, healthy, and rejuvenated. Visualize a green color radiating from your heart chakra. If you don't see any color or see some other color, let it take over. Absorb all the green energy into your heart. Shift your focus to Vishuddhi chakra or the throat chakra. Position in the pit of the throat, facing front and back. Throat chakra represents your self-expression, the ability to voice your opinions authentically. Breathe into your throat chakra. Imagine your breath is removing all the blocks and negativities, making it happy, healthy, expanding. Visualize blue color energy radiating from your Vishuddhi chakra. Absorb all the blue energy into yourself. Now let's shift our attention to Agnya chakra or the third eye chakra, positioned in the forehead between the eyebrows, facing front and back. Agnya chakra is the master control for all the chakras. This is the center of communication for cosmos and all other dimensions. Breathe into your third eye chakra. See that your breath is removing all the blocks and negativities. Visualize a dark blue indigo color in this area and see your third eye becoming happy, healthy, and more expanded. Absorb all the indigo color energy into yourself. Now let's move our attention to Sahasrara chakra, the crown chakra, positioned in the center of the head, above the body, facing the sky. Crown chakra is our divinity, our portal to the cosmos, and is the charging station during meditation. Breathe into your crown chakra, removing all the blocks and negativities and making it healthy, happy, powerful, rejuvenated, and expanded. Visualize a violet energy radiating from your crown chakra. Absorb all the violet energy into yourself. Feel that each part of your body is receiving the color it needs. Just remain here in the state of relaxation for a while. Now you see all the colors expanding and merging into each other, becoming white light. Visualize this white light spreading completely into your body, filling in each and every nook of your body, and penetrating through the skin into your aura, rejuvenating and shielding you from all the unwanted negative energies and blessing you with expansion. You are physically, emotionally, and spiritually charged up to be happy, healthy, free of all blocks and negativities. Remain in the state of deep relaxation. Slowly shrink the light into your heart and seal it there. Feel your presence in the room, in your seat. Feel your body. Slowly take few deep breaths. Move your fingers and toes. Touch your body. Know your physical boundaries. Put your palms together. Rub your palms. Make a cup out of them. Place them on your eyes. Open your eyes into your palms. Capture the energy. Massage it on your head, face, and your body. Allow the energy and the experience to sink in. Sit in silence for a few minutes until you are ready to go. You can unmute yourself. You would like to say how you felt?
Feels good. Though I probably took a benefited from a fraction of it because sometimes I went off to sleep. Sorry.
No. When you are sleeping, your mind, your energy is still being absorbed. Don't worry. Why we sleep while we meditate is because the only thing that we know is when you are relaxed, you have to sleep. Relaxation is equal to sleep. So when we are meditating, the body and the mind is so relaxed that it gets a signal to sleep. It's perfectly fine. Over a period of time, if you are meditating and if you are taking the guided meditations, then you know how to be relaxed and still be awake. It takes a little time, so you don't have to be sorry about it. It's a very natural, normal phenomena to sleep off. That's why I said if you want to lie down so that you don't fall off, I gave you that option also.
It was wonderful. It was a good experience.
Thank you.
And I try to meditate on a daily basis, but today it was even more deeper. It was the mind had completely shut down. I think like the guided meditation helped a lot. Totally focused on what you're saying. So yeah.
It helps with the energy along of the person who is guiding you.
Yeah. Mm.
It's much lighter, ma'am.
Good, good, Shilpa. Anybody wants to say? I don't know who this honey Taurus is. Who is honey Taurus? What's your name, please? Hello.
I
Yeah. Disha, how was your experience? Santosh, why don't you share?
My smile explains it all.
You always smile, so I don't know.
No, it was very relaxing. I did meditate after a very, very long time. I used to earlier, and then it like I missed out on it.
Okay,
So today
you're rejuvenated.
I rejuvenated, recollected the old memories also when we used to meditate.
Okay,
The- In fact, we used to do this with Shavasana, as you told, lying down.
yeah, okay.
So your guiding was also very similar to what my earlier teacher used to know that.
Okay, okay.
Actually, the first thing he had taught me was to unlearn whenever you learn something new. But as a
But it is when
practice,
yeah,
old memories come to mind.
yeah.
So I was, when you were speaking, actually, I was remembering his face.
Okay, not bad. Good to know that. So any questions, anything, any doubts, anything you want to know more about anything, you are free to ask now. We have another 4 minutes to go.
I think we will learn it in the sessions.
Okay,
All the doubts and all
yeah,
will come up during the sessions.
yes. If you are interested in, pardon me?
It would be wonderful to hold on to this state of being throughout the day. But yeah, holding on to it means you've already lost it.
Holding on to?
And holding on to something means you've already, it's not possible to hold on to anything. So yeah.
You
So to
can't
just-
hold on to it, but you can get there as a natural state.
Okay.
You are in this state and still you are acting, you're doing all that you're doing. Inside you're this peaceful and you do all your work, just experience how it feels. So that is the only difference. You will still do the same things, but you're more calmer inside. So it becomes easier to change the gears. You can shift from anywhere to anywhere. So I will share a link here for you all to give me a feedback on this session. And if you are interested in joining the sessions from next week, I will give you the link to join.
Sorry, ma'am. I couldn't attend. I was sleeping. I had duty till 1 o'clock and I couldn't wake up. I don't know. Shit.
Yeah, this happens with all the doctors in my sessions. But you were right in time for meditation, Dikshit.
I
How was it
think
for you? Did you wake
yeah,
up
it
with the
was fine.
meditation?
Yeah, it was. I was feeling very guilty for not attending that chakra healing thing. I
You
was
missed
not
the
that.
theory. You missed the theory, but you were there for the practicals.
Oh,
So without knowing what it is, if you go and do a surgery, what happens is what happened to you.
I'll directly attend the session. This one, ma'am.
Okay.
That 9.
Next week.
Yeah.
Starts next week.
So it's a course of around 3 months, is it?
3 months. We meet every Saturday for 9 weeks. Then there is a gap of 2 weeks for the practice. And then we again meet on the 12th week.
Okay.
Am I sharing the screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I think actually I need not share this. I have to share it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a feedback that will help me improve on this session so that people get more benefited. So you can click on this form and give me the feedback. And this is for people who want to register. I want to thank all of you to stay awake in the morning of a Saturday and be here and go through the meditation. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for sharing.
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I think I have all your numbers. I will just message. I'll send a message also
Yeah,
for
please.
the registration and the feedback on your WhatsApp. Did you all receive the email?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So see you all soon.
Yes, see you soon. Bye.
All the best. Take care. Have a good
Thank you.
weekend.
Mhm.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.